second part of our reward-based training is the 3 pillars of reward-based training. And we got a cute little guy to help us out here. So the 3 pillars are criteria, timing, and rate of reward. And so we're going to go over all of those things. Criteria are rules or standards for behavior. And if you don't have a set of rules that you stick to, the dog is going to make up his own. The rules provide structure, which means that the dog can predict what's going to happen, and then he can be confident and relaxed because he knows the rules. Rules make communication easier because it's simpler for the dog. If I said, for instance, sit, and then the next time I said sit down, and the next time I said sit over here, that would be really inconsistent, and the rules would be changing for the dog all the time. So rules aren't, like it's not a military organization, but it's a family, and so families need rules too. They work if you're very consistent with them. So if you want your dog to sit, you always say sit. Rules allow you and your dog to build a great partnership. So example for the criteria for sit is put your butt on the ground the first time I ask without any delay, keep all 4 feet still, and then stay there until you're released. That's what we call duration. Even around noise, commotion, other dogs, squirrels, those are distractions. Even when I walk away from you, and that's what we call distance between you and your dog, and even in new places. So that's what we call diversity. Having consistent game rules makes life more fun for both of you. Dogs can relax because they can predict events, and changing the rules for games and training can add stress to life, and who needs that these days? The second pillar of reward-based training is rate of reward. So the rate at which you give your dog rewards can have a huge impact on them, especially when they're very first learning a behavior, or if they're brushing up on an old behavior. So high rate of reward will modify behavior more quickly than a low rate of reward. Active young dogs that are just learning need a higher rate of reward, and higher rate of reward is one of the ways you can make yourself more important to your dog, more valuable to your dog. So dogs make choices based on what they value. So a high rate of reward, the highest rate that I've ever seen is 30 treats in a minute. That's very high. A good rate for a family dog class might be 5 or 10 rewards in a minute. So 10 rewards would be 1 every 6 seconds, and 5 would be 1 every 12 seconds. And so that might be a goal to shoot for. You can do that in a low distraction environment, but doing it in a higher distraction environment is going to be a little harder. Rule number 3 is timing. So the time at which you tell your dog, that's what I want you to do, and the speed with which your reward is delivered. So good mechanics and timing will help your dog learn faster. If you're slow getting your treat to your dog, if you mark, um, say you're doing a hand target, the moment your dog's nose touches your hand. So if you say it before the dog's nose touches your hand, you're marking whatever that dog is doing at that moment. And if you do it after the dog starts pulling away, you're actually training your dog to pull away from you. Yep. And I did this, so I can tell you it's really true. Precision takes practice, and practice takes time. So, whoops. So you really want to uh, work at it and make sure that you're focusing your skill on your timing. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But driving, say, for instance, if you're driving a car, is a skill where timing is critical. So my theory is if you can drive, then you can train. It's just a habit that you need to learn and feel comfortable with. So here is your homework. Write down what your criteria is for sit and practice sits with your dog for 1 minute. Start with a hungry dog. Count the rewards you give them within a 1 minute training session, and that is your rate of reward. Pay attention to your timing, the timing of your marker word. We say yes when we want a dog to do something. So, and then the timing between the marker, when the marker happens, and when the reward happens. So you could repeat that for 3 days and keep track of your results and see if you make improvement on that. So you wouldn't want to change a lot of variables. You might want to do this in your kitchen for 3 days. So thanks again. We do appreciate you, and we hope to see you in the next class, the next online class. Take care and stay healthy, stay safe.